Emergency.
There's a bottle of conditioner in me.
What?
My wife and I belong to a wholesale club and got a really big bottle of Mother Jeffrey's male hair conditioner.
Uh-huh.
We were in the shower and we put it in me, but it went all the way in.
Your wife put the bottle in
my behind.
We're going to send an ambulance. Can you wait?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Are you all right?
Oh, yeah. I was just a little surprised.
I would be surprised, too.
I'm sorry, 1 second. Sweetie, can you please get the cat out of here?
The ambulance is about 4 minutes away.
Oh, no, I can really feel it.
The bottle?
I think I'm going to see it.
Is that bad?
Hey, it came out. No, where's the cat?
I'm already into the 420, damn it.
So what are you doing? Nothing? Why not?
Trying to get on this Lifestyle Radio website.
Sounds like a cool website.
Yeah, it's alright. Oh, wait, I might have it.
You might have it.
You're listening to Lifestyle Radio.
The opinions expressed during this show are those of the individual participants and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of their associated organizations or Lifestyle Radio.
You like music, you like weed, well, we gonna be good friends indeed. This is how much I like more than smoking trees. They'll make you dance the do-si-do and teach you how the chiba grows. Smoke a bowl on the 420 radio show. On Lifestyle Radio.
Oh, you unmuted me, didn't you? I was singing away and I had no idea. I thought I was still muted. Maybe I am.
No, I hear you.
Welcome to the 420 radio show.
Is it anyone else there?
I don't know. I was going to say Al looks frozen. I see Darcy's there, but he's muted.
Is it frozen or is it a prank?
Darcy's chirping away. Oh.
I think Al's froze.
Al's definitely froze. Marcel?
I was going to say he hasn't blinked at all.
Well, you know what? The three smartest people here hosting anyway. So let's go right into the grow segment, Darcy. Since we have nothing
go right into the grow area. Go ahead there. I was not paused. I was just sitting here. Hello.
Wait, did you seriously hold that face for that long?
I did.
You didn't even blink.
You did well. You looked frozen.
And I'm glad that I didn't laugh out loud because I was trying to keep it in. That's for standing us up last time, guys.
I didn't stand you up. I told you I wasn't coming.
Oh yeah, you were the only one that actually had an excuse.
That was me. I actually was surprising my boyfriend, and I knew it's actually a good thing I didn't because he tuned in to the show. And yeah, I was actually driving on my way to see him to surprise him. So. Sorry.
And Dale is here now.
Hey, Dale.
And
Dale comes often though.
Oh yeah, well,
like we have Dale like most of the time.
Deb's been coming in and out. Debbie is going to talk now, or is she not hearing us still? Hello. Oh man.
Well, you guys must have been hearing that I was talking about Debbie, or not Debbie in general, but Harvest Fest, because I literally was talking about Harvest Fest this morning. It's like I knew that Debbie was going to be the guest. Might have had something to do with the fact that you mentioned it a couple days ago. But...
Heineken.
She's having internet issues.
Is it internet or mic issues?
It's internet issues.
Oh,
that's if you can hear me, Deb. That's rural internet.
Yeah.
Oh, there's what I want.
Al says, yeah, because he knows being on the trailer.
I have to I have to add data to my phone because I'm going up on Sunday. So I'll probably be there next week for the show. Yeah. I'm looking forward to some nature watching.
I'll be in Hollywood, Florida.
I'm hearing
You're going to Florida? Why are you going to Florida?
There's Debbie. Hey, Debbie.
Are you hearing me?
Yes, we hear you now, Deb.
Nope.
Yep, we can hear you now.
We hear you now. But can you hear us?
I wonder if there's a delay.
No hablo. Debbie, no
Maybe she can't
hablos.
hear us.
Try sign language.
Wait, W.
Just a
No,
sec.
that's
Hold
odd.
on.
My mic
Okay.
just tested
Go
fine.
ahead, Mary Jane. Sign language.
I don't remember. I think
Okay.
it's W-E.
Oh, shit.
C-A-N.
Yeah, I don't
Deaf
remember
people
either.
laugh at me because they're like, seriously, you spell everything?
I
Like,
don't remember. Okay, she can hear
now
us
we
now.
can hear Debbie again. I recognize that laugh. every
Chuckling.
time.
Well, Deb's trying to figure things out. Welcome to 420 Radio Show. We're here chatting with Debbie about Harvest Fest that Mum puts on every year, and I know that Marcel and Darcy and even Lennie and Dale probably tell us more about it if she can't. So, and
Try again.
You know,
it's an epic festival.
An epic
you have to
festival.
go to if you've never been.
We're going to take Dale's virginity on Harvest Fest this year.
If you're going to go, Mary Jane, are you actually going to stay this time?
What are you talking about?
You didn't stay. No, you didn't. You went to the hotel because you had a leak in your tent, in your RV thingy.
I didn't have a leak in my RV. How dare you trash my Trailer Park Boys sign?
You
RV. There's nothing wrong
had
with my RV.
a leak in the roof.
No, I didn't. I had no leak.
Go have a shower.
It's called children. I had children with me.
Same thing.
And a boyfriend who, who was just
an
easier to toss off
ex-boyfriend.
the hotel.
Ex-boyfriend.
But to be honest, I'm now dating a man who I don't think would sleep in a tent. So
Uh-oh.
I think we might get a hotel.
Are you bringing kids?
I don't know, actually. I don't know.
She doesn't know.
That's a good question. But they're a lot older now. I have a 12-year-old and a 17-year-old.
Yeah, I might bring
they're already
David.
smoking their own.
If I come, I will probably have David with me, and he's 16 now, although I don't know if he'll really enjoy it. Just sit there and stare in the world.
My son makes fun of potheads.
Does he?
I caught him making fun of me today. And I was not so happy. He said, my mom asked me to do this, but then she didn't think about this. Stoner mentality.
David acts like a pothead, but he doesn't touch the stuff.
But you know what? We make fun of you too, Mary Jane.
Yeah, we make fun of
Yeah,
you
that's
too.
okay. I'm the parent. That's the child.
Speaking of which,
there's a difference.
I wasn't going to bring it up, but you started it. I saw your picture the other day.
Which one?
The one with you and Timmy together.
Oh, in my bedroom?
With the blonde wig.
Oh, no, that wasn't it. Okay, that's a different photo.
That's a different picture.
That was our 007.
That was her OnlyFans picture.
No, I thought he was going to talk about my yoni painting again.
No. I might have been slightly out of it, which caused me to giggle even more, but I zoomed on the picture. I should bring it up. I zoomed on the
don't
picture.
bring it up.
Yeah, please bring it up. We got nothing else to talk about.
And it's seriously, when you enlarge it so it's just your face,
It's okay,
and that
Deb.
hair, it looks like Garth.
Yeah, I don't see anything.
Garth.
Okay, so you want to hear something funny? I have the Wayne's World hat. Like, I legit have a hat. So you're telling me I should put the
on with that wig. Those bangs.
Horrible. That wig's terrible too.
Motherfucker.
But it gave us a good laugh for a little while.
Deb's having issues today.
I'm glad that made you. I thought you were going to talk about the bullseye on Timmy's head.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering about that, but that
What's
wasn't
that red
Garth.
dot?
It was Garth.
Okay, you guys talk, and I'm going to share.
Did anybody do anything special for 420 this year?
Went to a hockey game.
Did your
Celebrated
team
the
win?
kid's birthday.
Not sure I won yet.
Okay. Was the birthday good? Was it a big one? 21 or?
Was
yeah, she just turned 21, but she's just here now.
Ah,
She just
that was a
showed
good
up.
guess.
Well, she didn't show up. We had to go and pick her up. Well, it was a good guess. I put that as a status.
You guys
for
say it,
21st
which is
birthday.
so funny, but I scroll through Facebook so fast. I don't know whose post was whose. I knew somebody celebrated a 21st birthday.
Yeah,
I knew
see
we
how
were
you
having
go
somebody
fine.
on the show today. I just didn't know who. That's why I asked this morning. I was like, who's on the show?
Mary Jane Baker. I'm gonna go and steal her picture.
Ah!
Yeah, but she posts so friggin' much. I'm gonna be scrolling for an hour.
This one's one of my favorite photos.
Oh, there it is, right there.
It's just all bubbles.
Bring it up
There's
again.
something
Pull it
about-
up again. Hold it
something
up.
about
Hold it
me-
up. Hold it up.
Me okay, so I was trying to do a sexy photo shoot in bubbles, and it turned out not to be so sexy because when you put me around bubbles, I'm so happy. I was like a kid. I was like, I can't be sexy. This is so much fun. There's so many bubbles. I like bubbles.
Oh, crop this up a bit.
You like my side?
Trudeau, I can't read it in the glasses.
You sound just like a
Broken record.
Yeah.
It's actually, we Canadians want this. I fucking hate that line, man.
I can make bubbles.
You hate what line?
If you listen to Trudeau's speech, we Canadians wanted this. We Canadians. I
Speak
fucking
for
hate it.
yourself, buddy.
Which Canadians?
Yeah, exactly.
But that's every speech he does. We Canadians wanted this.
If we Canadians wanted all of this, then we Canadians probably wouldn't have rallied behind the convoy that was headed to Ottawa when they did. Half of us didn't even know what was going
Most
on.
Canadians are racist Nazis and not really Canadians.
They're terrorists.
Well, I don't doubt that they got behind some terrorists, but I mean, not all of them were terrorists.
No, Trudeau said they're all terrorists and racists.
I'm no terrorist.
Hey,
I went to Ottawa. I thought it was great when I was in Ottawa, but I wasn't there after the
No,
14th.
it's not. It's just he's just a fucking idiot.
That's mean.
What? Trudeau, me calling him a fucking idiot?
Yeah.
No, generalizing that out of thousands of people, 5 or 20 or even 100 people generalize that everyone else there is an evil person. That's a fucking
Evil.
idiot.
Well, did you see just recently the speech that Trudeau had given when he was younger, talking about how he has a learning disability that has to do with numbers, that he can't even add something as simple as 12 and 13 together?
Neither can I.
That probably explains the caravan.
Yeah, but you're not running the country. It makes sense now when he said, "Oh, it's just a small fringe minority," because Buddy can't fucking count.
47.
There's the bangs. I need boxier glasses, though.
No, but honestly, for someone that is be it a president or a queen or king or prime minister, that's not how you unite a country.
Definitely
No.
not.
You got
That's how you
to you got to
divide.
try to support everybody in your country or listen to them.
Yeah.
Understand their perspective.
Or fake it.
Totally.
I think he should have probably met with those people and then just decided not to do what they wanted anyways, but he should have at
Well,
least met with them.
you could have early on, right off the get-go, they told you a week in advance they were coming, so that was stupid. And
Well, yeah, they had it planned for like a full year prior.
But anyway, just the arrogance of them was just silly.
There's a lot of beeping going on.
I don't hear any
Somebody's getting
beeping.
notifications on their
Yeah,
phone.
it's Marcel. It's always Marcel.
Debbie says StreamYard hates her internet.
Yeah, it's okay.
Thinking some Friday she may go to town and sit outside the library and do a show using her phone.
Wait, can she call in, like over the phone line?
No.
Does she?
No.
If
We don't have that
possibly
ability
if she
anymore.
had- Oh yeah.
Well, I guess Marcel's telling us about Harvest Fest and Deb's absence.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to have Deb on again too. But
She will. It's not like you can't talk about
But yeah, we got it. We got to talk about
I
Harvest
I
Fest,
just
'cause-
find it funny that all of a sudden, now that she's not doing the show with us anymore, she can't be on every now and then. Wink, wink.
Yeah, Deb, I don't show up all the time, so it would be nice to have another female voice.
You're a loser.
We ever have a nice we ever have a nice sunset happening out here tonight.
We love you, Deb, and anytime, you know, you're...
It was raining hard at the golf course.
It was hailing. It was hailing too, Lenny.
Was it hailing?
Oh man, there was some dime-size hail.
We got creamed on Monday, like creamed.
We saw a little bit of rain on our way to Truro, and I don't think we saw any on the way back. But it did rain a bit here right around supper time.
We got,
and for the record, I wasn't actually golfing on the golf course. It was a track.
Yeah, we saw the pictures. We got creamed on Monday. I mean, like probably 3 centimeters. It was like just white everywhere, and then gone again. But I was on the highway taking the kid home. It was not fun. Took me an
when
hour
did they
and a
open the
half.
golf course, Len?
It's a simulator. Next Friday, I think, or no, second.
May
See,
2nd, Lenny.
Drink. I grabbed it in my garage. It's like one of my kids' or wife's or something.
Yeah.
Fucking awful.
Truly, what?
Hard pineapple.
Pineapple, some seltzer.
Yeah.
Fucking horrible.
But it's carbonated.
Yeah, I've had some that are
drink.
okay, but this pineapple's disgusting.
The only carbonated drink I can really tolerate is beer, or maybe a root beer.
So
Beer is carbonated?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's got
yes,
bubbles.
Really?
of course. Anything with bubbles is carbonated, darling.
I don't drink beer. I didn't know it had bubbles.
Even
Yeah.
a seltzer is
Oh,
carbonated.
I knew that. I knew that because Alka-Seltzer.
Yeah.
But
Well, I didn't know this about tonic water. Tonic water actually has quinine in it.
Didn't know that.
What's
yes,
that?
actually, tonic water is actually really good for you if you have COVID.
Well, no, quinine's a drug they use for malaria. So that's why they called it tonic water. I didn't know that. That was
What?
Weird.
Yeah, it was a tonic if you're ill.
No.
Quinine's a bit of an antiviral.
So everybody's going out and getting
Now,
tonic
let's
water.
go get
Is
some
that, is
time.
that
I'll
the
be
same
right
as
back.
Club soda?
No.
No, club
No.
soda doesn't have the quinine.
Ah.
And club soda's got a bit of a flavor to it, and tonic water doesn't really have much flavor to it.
All I know tonic water is gin and tonics. Other than that, didn't know anything about it.
I actually like gin and tonic.
I like gin and tonics
But
on a cold, on a hot like summer day.
The
Like,
gin
it's awesome.
doesn't like me though. Even a
I like
shot. I don't. It doesn't agree with me at all. I get very moody.
With what?
Gin.
You get moody with gin?
Very instant asshole.
Oh, really?
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
don't drink gin around me.
Yeah,
I don't
no,
like
no.
instant assholes.
Isn't that like sativa for you?
No, I like sativas.
No, that's white. That's
White Widow.
White Widow.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's it. The widow.
My favorite drink is a gin martini.
So invite me over and offer me a gin and some White Widow and watch what happens.
I wonder if they like counteract each other.
Favorite cocktail, Marcel? You said gin martini.
Yeah, with 3
I
olives.
would
I
either
like-
argue like as a cocktail or a drink. Either my favorite would be a good Caesar or a Moscow Mule.
I like
or margarita.
I like.
I had a Caesar in
yeah.
a restaurant one time
Yeah.
in Ontario, and it was the last Caesar I could ever have.
What did they do to it?
They said it was their host special, so they brought out this nice big Caesar, and I thought, oh, good, I love Caesars. And I took a drink, and there was chunks in it.
Celery?
Tomato?
No, horseradish.
I remember that stuff.
And I've never been able to even go close to smelling a Caesar again.
Well, I do like a good Caesar.
Well, this wasn't a good Caesar. That was just when you're expecting a drink to be a nice drink, you're not expecting chunks in it. And I mean, there was fucking chunks.
Horseradish.
And I looked at the waitress. I said, "What is this?" And she said, "That's our specialty." She said, "We put horseradish in." I said, "Not my fucking drink. Bring me a beer."
I like.
I've been
I
drinking
like
more Moscow Mules lately.
I like a good.
What's
like
in a Moscow Mule?
A really nice.
Really fucking short. It's ginger beer, and I think there's vodka. Is it vodka?
Probably.
Yeah, you should find out what's in
Probably,
it if you like it. If it's a drink you like, you gotta find out how it's made.
I don't know. I just like the taste. I really don't deep dive into that shit too much, to be honest. Do I like it or not?
Huh.
I used to drink.
I know. I definitely know there's ginger beer in it.
You mean ginger ale?
No, ginger beer.
Ginger beer.
Oh fuck! Is
It's
actual
beer
beer
that's-
made out of
Yeah.
ginger?
Yep.
Well, that's beer. That
I
actually,
like ginger beer.
There is vodka in it, by the way.
Yep.
So freshly squeezed ginger beer, vodka, freshly squeezed lime juice.
It's just like having a hard root beer.
I like the taste of some alcohol like mixtures, but I can't drink them strictly because of the alcohol.
It's the sugar that probably affects you the most. It's the sugar.
No, it's any. I used to drink just straight up vodka. I used to try rum. Yes. I tried my favorite drink to drink used to be it's called a purple fuck, and it's a shot of blue curacao, a shot of vodka.
How do you say curacao? We always call it Caraco.
It's both. It's whatever part of the you're from. Curacao, Caraco. and then you top it with Sprite.
Drinks up with.
What's that?
It's just the blue shit that people fancy up drinks with.
Yeah, it's the blue flavoring. So it's a shot of the blue shit. A shot of the vodka, and then top it off with Sprite and a little bit of the grenadine to make it purple. If you don't put the grenadine, it's called a blue fuck. But it'll knock you on your ass.
I remember having Harvey Wallbangers as a kid while my mom and her boyfriend were having whatever.
What's in a wallbanger?
A Harvey Wallbanger is a non-alcoholic drink that's very sweet.
Like a Shirley Temple?
Yeah. It's basically a non-alcoholic Shirley Temple. Yeah.
Well, that's what Shirley Temples are, aren't they?
Okay, so then maybe it's the other way around. Harvey Wallbanger is the one with the alcohol, and the Shirley Temple is the one. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. It's not really I appreciate the information, but it's not really information when you're plugging a company. So, anyways,
guess what I did on 420.
Hexo, bring back the canvas. Hexo closed down a place.
Yeah, I'm kind of
down ours.
I'm upset about that because you know what, I enjoy Hexo products. I do.
Well, they're just restructuring, and I mean, if you've been paying attention to the news over the last year, you've seen how much they've invested in other country or in other companies, so they have to restructure.
I just went and got the pronunciation for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been saying it wrong.
Why is your audio all messed up there, Marcel? It sounds like you're way far away.
Oh yeah, no. I figured Marijane was right. I was just making Nova Scotia.
Here he comes.
I love that you guys just assume that I'm right. I know.
No, I think it was because I was running the pronunciation thing.
Oh yeah.
Caraco sounds better. Just saying.
Listen, when I grew up, that's what we called it. So I didn't know.
Yeah. But on the pronunciation, they'd say it's curacao.
Well, even in this day, like my favorite pizza is Acropole, even though I know the real pronunciation is Acropolis.
Yeah, exactly.
Acropole.
But it's Acropolis. That's the first thing I said as soon as I saw the name. Why do they say their name wrong?
even the owners call it Acropole.
Sorry, you know those camping chairs that some people call Muskoka chairs?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I call them Adirondack chairs.
Adirondack.
They're Adirondack, but for some reason I call them Adirondack because I just like the way it sounds.
You know what? Growing up, I used to call Led Zeppelin Zed Leplin because of my dyslexia. That's always how it came out. Still, sometimes if I'm talking about it, you'll hear me say Zed Leplin. Yep.
Well, don't say Han Valen.
Oh, that's like masturbation backwards.
I gotta disappear and go see if I can find a fucking plug somewhere.
Well, you need a plug?
Yeah, I gotta see if I can find one.
Are you going bald? You need some plugs?
I am going bald, but I don't need plugs yet.
Okay. I do. Can I have some?
So on 420 this year, I went to Legacy 420 and bought some moose stew.
Cool.
Oh my god, that's gonna be delicious.
I never had any. It was fucking amazing. I was like, "Are you sure this is moose?"
Did Tim make it himself?
No, they had somebody else out front doing it. They had pickerel nuggets. And,
I'd like to try them.
By the time I got there, I was there at 1, not even 12:30.
Al said he was going out there. Yeah, Al said he was going
now.
out there. Yeah.
Yeah, it was his anniversary. I see now.
Yeah, he doesn't. He goes out in the afternoon and then comes home, does whatever he has to do, and then spends the evening with his wife for his anniversary. He's never. he's not
so
really.
It's so funny. He said he was telling me because I was wondering yesterday in the morning of 420. I was like, did he get married after 420 was like a thing, or did he get married before 420 was like a thing? For
Al's been involved in the community a very long time, so it was probably around the same time.
So what he said was 420. He wasn't even in the cannabis space.
Really?
When he got married.
It just happened to be that date.
It just she picked the day.
Wow.
She picked the day. I was like, that's crazy. That's awesome. Yeah, there's no way I would get married on 420. Like that's my birthday, that's my Christmas all together. I wouldn't want to lump something else on there. So if you're listening, Timmy, just take note.
She wants to get married to me, just not on 420.
So I noticed. Did you notice, Len, that the Batman's already up on Amazon, eh?
And Crave.
I almost
Isn't
watched
it still in the theater?
Yeah, it's still in the theater as well. It's at the drive-ins as well.
I'm watching it tomorrow night, Lenny.
I already saw it with David. We put it up on the wall here in the apartment.
It's fantastic.
I think
I've heard some mixed reviews.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not really into those kind of movies, but it keeps your attention. That's for sure. It's big.
Long.
It was big.
It's not somebody trying to sell drugs in the comments.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What?
So, in other words, don't hit show for those comments, please.
No, I'm not.
In what comments?
In the comments coming from listeners, somebody's been posting.
Whatever listener is doing that, get the fuck out of here. Nobody wants your garbage.
There you go.
Yeah. We're all growers and we all have our own connections.
It's a free tool to help us, but yet she's using our feed to present it. So no. So
the Batman is a fantastic movie, and it's probably closest to more like the comics and the graphic novel world.
Mm-hmm.
But what people may not like, it's not really a kid friendly.
No. Although David did enjoy it.
Oh no! Like if a kid's Batman, you're gonna like it, but it's not jokey. It's not. There's no laughs.
So yeah, the people that enjoy the Batman cartoon should not be taking their children to go see this.
Yeah, or if you like all the Marvel stuff, right? Like the Guardians of the Galaxy and Thor. Like there's lots of laughs and jokes and things like that.
Yeah.
I think there's barely one fucking joke in the whole movie.
What we watched? Crap.
I love it. I thought it was phenomenal. And
Morpheus is it Morpheus or
I haven't watched that one because I heard it wasn't good.
You know what? David enjoyed it. There was a lot of tongue in cheek and references to other movies, which they do a lot of. But this was, I think that's Marvel. Was it Morbius or
Morbius is Marvel.
Morbius.
What was
Marvel.
What's the guy who was in it? The actor?
Let me look. I can't remember.
He was in Fight Club, and he was the Joker.
Edward Norton.
No,
what's his?
I got it here. It was Jared Leto. It was,
that guy.
and he's an amazing, and Michael Keaton was in it, and he's a really good actor, and he pulled it off. It was a really good movie. There are some movies that you can't watch on a little 42-inch box.
Well, interesting you said that because I did see the Batman in the theater.
Yeah.
And I watched it. Like I have a 50-inch TV.
And then you watched it at home?
Yeah, and you know what? People go to the movie theaters. It's so much better. It's worth it.
We were going to go see it down the road. But by the time you factor in two people, he's 16. So
it's expensive.
Full price.
I get it.
You're looking at $100 evening just to see a movie.
I get it. But I'm just saying, if there's things like that you like,
I'd rather go to a drive-in and crank up the surround sound in my car because I'm dying to use it. I still haven't.
Okay. Well, and you can smoke too.
I can smoke in my car. Yeah.
But I did notice just the difference in the feel. Like
There's a scene in the movie when the Batmobile comes out, and in the theater, or at least the Cineplex here, the roar, it was just like jaw dropping.
Yeah.
Oh my god, right?
Yeah, certain movies, it's like that. It's like when Transformers first came out.
Yes.
Right?
That was a really good movie.
Action movie, something you love. Like I'm also being biased. I don't want movie theaters to go away. I enjoy the experience.
No, I enjoy them too.
I think it's something that the world needs. Like, get out and just.
One of the best movie theaters in the city of Toronto, the University Theatre, is about to go bye-bye if it hasn't already. And there's a few other theaters that are
still
gone
get that
now.
Big Paramount one downtown,
Yep.
or whatever it was.
Yep.
I've been there a few times. I love it.
I used to, when I was doing What's Up Toronto magazine, we used to get invites to go to screenings and stuff like that. So I
saw this. I think the last movie I saw there was The Sixth Sense.
Well, the one that I saw at the University Theater was the first Star Wars, and that was probably one of the first 70 millimeter screens in the city.
Episode 1 or Episode 4?
The first Star Wars.
Well, Episode 1 or Episode 4? Which one do you mean?
It would have been 1.
That's funny.
Nerd.
I actually just sent my kids to the movies last weekend. It cost me $60, and that was 62. It was 22 for both of their tickets because it's one child, one adult, and then
popcorn,
$20 each for food.
Yeah.
And of course, I got no change back.
Nope. Yep.
But no,
yeah, I would like to do an investigation on the popcorn. That is crazy. The price. Of
I miss real popcorn with real butter on it, not that fucking greasy shit that they put on.
You can ask for real butter now.
Dude, I haven't been in a theater since God for a long time. I think the last time I was in a theater was with my mom.
Well, they make you book your seats now.
I love that part.
Right? I know, and nobody books next to you either.
I used to
There's
go.
always like a space in between you and the next
that they shouldn't drop. I hate general admission anything.
I used to go to the Varsity Theater, which was the first VIP theater, where they had maybe 50, 60 seats in a small room and a screen, and they brought you your popcorn and pop and everything. And it's much like sitting in your living room now with your 50-inch TV, you know. I miss those, but I really like the drive-in. I like sitting outside and cranking up the tunes and, you know, not the tunes, but the stereo, so you can hear it. Right? You guys got drive-ins out there in Nova Scotia land?
I think the Westville one reopened. Did the one in Westville reopen?
Yep. And there's one in Shediac, New Brunswick.
I know.
There's one in the Valley.
I know Port Hope is
there
open
one
now.
still in the Valley?
Yeah. It's showing the Batman and something else this weekend, actually.
Oh, right on. This weekend? Yeah.
And it's $13 a fucking carload, too. So, I like that.
Yeah, we've got 3 of them out by me. There's one in Lindsay. There's one in Port Hope.
Yep.
There's one in Picton.
Yeah, the closest.
There used to be one in Kingston.
The closest one to me, both at the farm and here, is Port Hope.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I like the Lindsay one, though. The Lindsay one is like old school.
Is it multiple screens?
Yeah, multiple screens, and the concession stand is so like old school.
Do you get to watch the weenie jump into the bun?
I think you do, actually.
That's in the back seat, Al.
No.
What the?
You don't remember that? The little hot dog?
I'm joking.
I want
to try and find that for break.
Okay, is everybody done looking at land now?
Go to the lobby.
Okay, we'll put us all on.
I want to talk about cannabis.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to talk about cannabis? I want to talk about Harvest Fest.
Oh, well, that's cannabis. But let's talk about this, because I get a question about this, because I've been into Friendly Stranger. But Friendly Stranger...
So have I, in Toronto?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I bought my first... It was a dual
That's pretty much
hookah.
where everybody in Toronto bought their first
hookah
paraphernalia.
Yeah.
Bong, whatever.
Yep.
It's been there forever.
And seeds down on Lakeshore. Yep.
But they're now a legal dispensary.
Yes.
That's correct.
As well as still having their shop with all of their paraphernalia as well.
Do they have the paraphernalia in with the dispensary, or is it two different shops?
Legal stores can now sell glass and papers.
They have glass at every store that I've been in. Yep.
So
they've got pipes and grinders and rollers and everything else.
Yeah.
Papers.
But what the article is about is the amount of dispensaries in Toronto.
Yeah.
That within 1,000 square feet, there's 3 legal dispensaries. Walk 2 minutes and you get 3 more.
Walk another 2 minutes and you'll get 3 more illegal dispensaries. No?
So during the pandemic, there was only 12 dispensaries in the city with 2.8 million people. That was March 2020. Today there's 430 with 88 more in the approval process. And some of them are having a hard time staying open.
There are a lot closing. I've seen pictures being posted by people where a medical dispensary, a legacy dispensary is open and a legal dispensary beside them is shutting down. And it's weird. I think they're going through the same thing in Manitoba, are they not?
Yeah, Manitoba now has more cannabis dispensaries than Tim Hortons.
Okay, now I said this to Tim because he's the one that posted that article that I saw it, and to Tim Barnhart. When I was at the lounge, helping Paula at the lounge, there were more dispensaries, legacy dispensaries in Hamilton than there was Tim Hortons at that time. It was like literally there were 6. You walk out the front door of Gunjanistas and there's 6 dispensaries and one beside us. Yeah. So you see that now. You drive around. I drive around the city and you see pot. But
not as condensed as much as it is on the reserves.
No. The Green Mile there. I think there's. There was a number that they said that they were allowing, and then that was it. But I've seen a few more open since then.
Right.
You mean on the reserve?
In Alderville, yeah.
On the Millbrook Reserve,
it's the only one I go to. They have what?
One is the Trans-Canada Highway.
Yes.
That there's 3 or 4 of them lined up along there.
No, there's 6 or 8 now, Marcel.
Is there? And then down on the old Trans-Canada Highway, the original one, that's just peppered with them for the whole length of the reserve. And then I'm sure that they've got a few inside. But it's kind of like it when it comes to city planning, right? You don't put 4 pizzerias next door to each other.
Well, but McDonald's is famous for you put a McDonald's in somewhere, and then you're going to get a Wendy's, you're going to get a Harvey's, you're going to get a Subway, you're going to get they just flock to those areas. If you drive up and down Eglinton,
but they all sell different stuff, though, Al.
No, but they're all choices. So
but a Wendy's burger is different than a McDonald's.
Of course
burger.
it is. Of course it is. But they know
for example,
where somebody doesn't like McDonald's, they'll go to Wendy's next door or to Burger King up the road, and it's the same thing with weed. It's the same thing with dispensaries.
But
when
every one of those stores is selling all the same stuff.
Yeah, I know.
Exactly.
I know. But the atmosphere is different, though. Like you go into
and that's where this is exactly it. If
you go
had
into
a store open long enough and you don't have
right.
brand recognition and loyalty, then you're not going to have a good customer base.
You go into Canna Cabana up the road here at Ellesmere and Vic Park, okay, and you walk in there and it's a store. Period. Yep. You go into Cannabis Hut, which is just up the road from me here, and it's, hey, how you doing today? Blah, 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 blah. Conversation. What do you recommend? Oh, I like this. Blah, 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 blah. It's a totally different atmosphere because Canna Cabana is a corporate company where Cannabis Hut has 2 stores in Toronto, and that's it. They're not corporate. So you do get that different dispensary vibe or old school vibe.
And you know which company is most likely to go under?
Cannabis
it's not
Hut.
Canna Cabana.
No.
It's like the one here in town, the community cannabis store.
Now
they're going to be taken out by Tokyo Smoke that's coming.
Yeah.
We got Shiny Buds here.
There's a Tokyo Smoke, just like I could probably see it if this building wasn't here in front of me.
That's the thing. Yeah. If you're not one of the bigger name people now
Yes.
because they give out all the license at the beginning. Well, the 25 licenses in the beginning. So if you weren't actually out then, good luck trying to make brand recognition.
So
now.
here's a question. I'm wondering, and I don't know the answer to this, how many of the original stores that were opened in Ontario are still open?
25 licenses.
It was only 25 licenses originally, right?
That's interesting.
I wonder how many are still open. I know that there was a few refusals. I know that what's the company down the road there? They're still open too. I can't remember. I was going there all the time. Can't remember the name of it.
Well, the government totally buggered it up. Like anyone who put their name in and got one of the 25 thought they had a golden ticket that they could then sell and get investors and whatever. No, that's not how it was.
And there were a few legacy dispensaries that put in for it and got accepted, but then got turned down because they were found.
They had past
records.
history.
Yeah. The one that I'm talking about on St. Clair, and I can't remember the name of it. I'm sorry. The big one. They had the blocks in front of it. Yeah, cafe. Sorry.
Well, they're still around.
They are very much still around. Then they've opened a couple of other stores in the city as well.
Oh my God! I went into one of their stores.
They're amazing. I love them, but they're very expensive.
I thought it was a coffee shop.
Yeah, downstairs.
Very good. I just want to say I went in and I was like,
okay, so let's go back a couple of years. Cafe opened. They opened several places in the city of Toronto, and then they got raided. So what they did...
I remember, they put the cement blocks.
The police came,
and
the police came several times and raided them, and they wouldn't close, so they put big, huge concrete construction blocks in front of the building. So what they did, Cafe went out and got a mural of the front of the building and put it up in place of the blocks, and then moved the blocks aside for a doorway.
That's funny.
Yeah, it was funny. But yes, you go into a cafe and it looks like a cafe, and then they check your ID, they buzz you in the back, or they go upstairs. Now, how they're getting away with it is that little thing that they removed from the regulations not allowing, but that whole primary residence thing. So somebody lives on every site of a cafe store, or used to anyways. It was an apartment. I know the one on Fort York was a condo.
I don't know where we were. Yeah. I just remember I seen the cafe sign, and I know what the cafe sign looks like from being, so I went in and I was standing there, and it was a couple sitting at the table drinking their coffee, and I was looking around, and
but no medical
said,
stuff.
Can I help you with anything? And I was legitimately in a coffee shop, and I'm looking at the sign, and it says cafe, and I'm looking at the menu, and it's a legit menu, and I'm looking. Finally, at the bottom, I see infuse any drink for this much extra, and then I'm like, okay, something's up. Did they just have a coffee shop? I'm so confused. Of course I'm a little bit high, but then the lady said, oh, you're from Leafy Things, because I had my Leafy Things sweater on, and as soon as she said that, I was like, yes. And as soon as she said, she's like, oh, and buzzed, and next thing you know, we're in this secret space where it's a dispensary, and I was
you know
like,
what? It's laid out in the same kind of way that Justin was doing. Okay? He had his little cafe in the back, but it was a business. It wasn't just a underground dispensary.
Yeah,
I mean, they are
Justin's
underground
different.
Of course it was.
Like,
it was.
You knew that, like, when you got there was a door and
I'm
a window.
talking
and
about
it was like,
the
who
buzzing
are
in
you?
thing. The buzzing in thing. There's a lady sitting in a booth, usually at the front door of a cafe, and they ask for ID, and they automatically say, go wait in line or wait until somebody comes out. There's a not rules, but there's a way that you do things in those places.
The etiquette.
The etiquette. Thank you. The etiquette. But anyways,
did you get the video I sent you?
I did.
Protocol.
Yes.
That's
I did.
a good word too.
I did. It's right here. Protocol.
I'm going to go heat up my drink.
Uh-oh.
I'll be back.
Oh, don't do that.
The one thing with the legal dispensaries in Ontario they all have a fighting chance because they are all procuring product at the exact same price. So it comes down to your cannabis knowledge and your customer service. I don't think it's branding at all. I think it's
makes sense.
And I'm not going to say some of our we've met some dispensaries that have no fucking clue about cannabis.
Well, that's why you've met them.
They
want to bend your ear.
The lottery just to think, hey, we'll make money, right? But they weren't cannabis people at all. I don't know if some of those facilities are going to make it.
Yeah, we're starting to see a lot of the, even some bigger ones have gone already. You know, it's what are we in 3 years now? Coming up on 3 years? 2 years?
3 or 4. I guess it's 4.
Close to 4.
Close to 4 years now. Holy.
For legalization, and then edibles were after that.
That's year 3 for edibles. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So, that's a long time. A lot of things have changed. You know.
Was it October 17th, 2018?
Wasn't it October 18th?
No,
they couldn't do.
It's 2018. That's why people
2018,
get
but
confused.
it is October 17th. You're right. All right.
Yep. That was also the day that the government dropped all charges against Kelly Cush.
That's right. That's right.
Because I was at the courthouse that morning. That was an amazing day.
And now today, Ted Smith got a letter from whoever saying they want to talk about exemptions.
They want to talk.
They want to talk. So, yeah, they want to talk to him about it. I don't know about what, but he just said exemptions. They want to talk exemptions. So, whatever that means. Right.
Cool.
Len, Dale
Yes.
wants you to talk about your new project.
Yeah, I was just reading that.
Why don't we take a quick break, and then we'll come back and we'll talk with Len about what's going on with Optimus Prime.
Sure.
You going to call it Optimus Prime or Optimus Plus?
I'll give you a story about the name, too.
All right. Okay. So I pulled this up here.
I'll be right back myself.
Because Mary Jane gave this to me, and it's 3 minutes long. And so we're going to watch this and hope that Facebook doesn't, We'll be right back.
It's intermission time, folks. So hurry, hurry, hurry. Step right over to our refreshment center for the most extravagant array of refreshment goodies ever assembled under one roof. Enjoy breathtaking, mouth-watering goodies. Everything from a snack to a delicious full meal. At our refreshment center, you'll find a large variety of goodies to satisfy your hunger, your thirst, or your sweet tooth. So hurry, hurry, hurry. Visit our refreshment center now. The show starts in 5 minutes. The show starts in 4 minutes. The show starts in 3 minutes. The show starts in 2 minutes. The show starts in 1 minute. And now, on with the show.
Hey, Mary Jane Baker. No, I'm Mary Jane Baker. Wait, can we do that again?
Mary Jane Baker, take 27.
Hey, I'm Mary Jane Baker, and you're listening to 420radio.ca.
You're listening to 420radio.ca, Canadian Cannabis Radio.
Enjoy the buzz of legalization with Campbellford Lifestyle Shop. From lights to plant nutrients, books, consumption accessories, and more. We've got all your basics to grow or consume cannabis. Visit our info center or take a look at our piercing services and body jewelry, now available in-store through Campbellford Lifestyle Shop, 17 Bridge Street West, Campbellford.
You want music? Rock, punk, metal, alternative music. The Coverage Radio Show has what you want. Every other Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on 420radio.ca. Hosted by DJ Michael Alvich, bringing you new and retro tunes from both major and independent labels. Only on the Coverage Radio Show.
Somebody's mic is very breathy. Your mic is muted. I'm unmuted. I need to unmute.
And we're back.
And we're back.
Alfred got to unmute.
So did I, because I already said that, and I was like,
The
"Oh shit!"
station. I saw her say, "Al, your mic is muted."
Darcy's not back.
No, Darcy's never back on time.
Give a guy a break. He may be a little slower sometimes.
Well, he might need
I was going to say, I just want to say that's hard work, pushing yourself around in a chair all the time. I took a wheelchair with my daughter to the store, and I thought, I can make it to the store. No, I'm glad I took her, because I made it halfway up the hill and was like, if I had to actually stay in this and not be able to get out, I'd be stuck.
I was amazed when I saw Darcy at Harvest Fest, actually just getting around better than I was. You know,
every year.
Harvest Fest, that was hard on him though. That was hard work.
Oh, because it's a lot of it's grass and stuff like that, right?
Yeah. And then somebody's always there taking care of him, make sure he's got water. And
yeah, that's why I had to sleep beside a fucking
put a bowl
shitter.
of food out for him.
Yep. But he has a hell of a lot of fun.
What the heck?
I don't know. I'm not going back.
Well,
now it stopped. Well, it did stop.
So when Darcy comes back, we'll do some grow stuff. But
no, I want to hear about Lennie's.
I thought Lennie was going to talk about Optimus.
Let me finish. But for now, I'd like to talk to Lennie about his new
hey Al, I
adventure.
posted you on Facebook.
Out your fucking mouth!
Jeez. All right.
Everybody's hard on Will Smith. I kind of support him on it.
Yeah. Anyways,
I feel bad for the guy.
Tell us. You made a post about something new coming up. So yeah, tell us about Optimus Prime.
Well, I've had the license for it since the fall, but it's just taken me forever.
Darcy, mute.
Welcome back.
Thank you, buddy.
Darcy's back.
Okay, go ahead, Len.
Yeah. No, so I actually thought about this this started over a year ago.
I remember you
I said
first talking about it.
I knew about Hybrid Farm in Ottawa, and kudos to those guys. But I decided to go for a medical sales license with possession, meaning I can be a medical. It's still controversial, but it's a medical dispensary, a legal medical dispensary. They're meant to be online. It's the same license that medical cannabis by Shoppers is.
Okay.
It's nothing. So I can actually procure cannabis from all legal LPs and provide it to legal medical patients. The difference that I wanted to do was I just didn't want somebody, no offense to anybody, on a call center. I wanted pharmacists dispensing it. So when patients are coming, we want to do med checks, med reviews, things like that, but also be an aid for a few physicians. So it's the closest I could come to having cannabis in my pharmacy. So on my Willow Street medicine shop in Truro, I had a space rented up there for 4 years for various reasons, and I turned it into a dispensary.
Do you have to have the pharmacy and the dispensary separate?
They have to be separate, and that's where it's weird, right? Provincial pharmacies are provincially regulated under the Nova Scotia College of Pharmacy. Cannabis has got nothing to do with pharmacy. It's all federally regulated. Yeah. So they are 100% unrelated, even though technically it's me and my staff operating it.
So are you guys?
How does that look? How does that look for me? Can I just walk in and bring my?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
You. It's technically federally cannabis is all online. Now there is a clause that you can have it designated to be quote unquote delivered to your physician's office. If that physician's office happens to be downstairs in the pharmacy.
So, like, could you, if I come in to order, can I place an order for, say, a quarter of Violator from you and get it now, and you just order it and get it later? Like, can I pick up stuff today?
No.
There's a way to do it, yes.
Oh, is there?
That's what
there is a way to do it, but honestly, right now, I'm also being realistic. Nova Scotians 1 million people. Truro's 17,000 people.
Yeah.
So I'm going with the assumption that majority of my customers are going to be from the Halifax area. That's just where the population is in the end. Not that there won't be local Truro people, but there is a way to do it, yes. Mind you, I'm a security cleared person. I can deliver it to your house.
Can we talk prices?
It's online, optimuscannabis.ca. Want to know where I get the someone joked about the name. You want to know where the name came from?
Sure. Yes. Well, Marcel, would you type that out in our little private chat here so I can post it in our show chat?
Hang on.
Or
I
you can post it
intentionally
in our
put the
show
prices
chat.
up.
You did?
Yeah. We're trying to, again, it is what it is. Trying to keep everything at least under $10 a gram, but also have some more affordable options. I'm more proud of the non-inhalation products. Just enough variety. It's not going to be the biggest menu in the world, but I want to just make sure there's at least enough strains there to keep consumers happy.
That will grow.
But also have the non-inhalation product variety that could treat any patient. Because I'm really marketing this at the traditional general physician.
So are you allowed to go into province, or is this just Nova Scotia for this?
Nova Scotia for now. Give me another 60 days. I should be able to go anywhere. Well, I wasn't trying to make this really big. This was mostly wanted to do this was honestly just for me to have fun, to be honest.
See if you could do it.
But no, I should be able to do the Maritimes and all across Canada this summer when I do my application. I just haven't done it yet.
Well, it's exciting to see you do that, Len, because I remember us talking about it. I
talked about it on here where the idea popped in my head. I was going to do it, so I did it.
Yeah, good.
Interesting. Again, I just started literally this week, and my first 2 consults I actually couldn't offer them cannabis. They had severe drug interactions. So I'm 0 for 2 for my first 2 patient workups.
So let me ask you a question.
But I just want to say it's good that you're there, because if they tried cannabis, they could have had a bad reaction.
It was a very good relationship with the physicians that referred them. They appreciated the honesty, and they appreciated no, don't do it. Even the patients themselves is like, a couple of them are going through chemotherapy, and one of them had kidney transplant and are on anti-rejection drugs. That person just can't do it for.
I was told many years ago that if you have issues with alcohol dependency, using cannabis extracts is probably not a good idea. And I'm not talking about because of the alcohol in the extracts.
What are you trying to say about liver or what?
Yeah, I don't know, but that's what I was going to ask you. Is there any validity to that? Like, are there really some things that will interact with cannabis? Because every time I've asked my doctor, 100%, several times, will this and this contradict? No. But I guess I'm just not on anything that I have to worry about, right?
Well, 2 things have happened. Like, as I say, I always had the interest for a while, and then the one that really ramped me up is I did have a 80-year-old patient with hallucinations taking CBD.
Too much
CBD? After a week.
Too much?
And he had interacted with his Paxil.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, see, Al, it could be a problem that your doctor just isn't educated about cannabis
and he's
interactions.
Not. A lot of the conversations when he started learning about cannabis was from me, because I was learning and coming and talking to him about it. But now he has several patients that use cannabis. He's pretty well versed, but doctors will tell you they can know about the psychoactive effects, they can know about the health effects, they can know about the pain effect, the relief and yada yada, but most doctors don't know doses.
Oh, that's part of it. I'm hoping dosing.
Well, are you guys? My question was on that subject, Len. Are you guys going to have to take some specialty courses to learn how to do dosing properly, or are you doing that? Are you having Marcel come in and do that? How are you going about training? So, how are you training your staff to have these conversations?
Anyone getting consult at the start is me, and basically every time I do a consult, I'm sharing it with my staff. And they're just kind of learning by osmosis.
They're learning by osmosis. Yeah, that's a good way to do it.
There is courses. Honestly, there's a couple actually peer-reviewed review articles. I think her name's Laura McCallum out of BC, and everyone's heard the name Dr. Ethan Russo. The 2018 European Journal of Internal Medicine, Dosing and Administration of Medical Cannabis. Honestly, anyone read that fucking 5-page paper? That's pretty much 75% of all you need to know, to be honest.
So, you see, I've always been a fan of walking in and asking questions and having comments given, personal, or learned. Yeah. And like I said, you don't get that at the big corporate stores, but you're starting to get it at the smaller stores. So can anybody come in now and just ask questions? And if you can
anyone can pop into my pharmacy and ask me questions. They can ask me about hockey and baseball if they want, for all I care. But no, they should be coming in. And
both stores are doing this?
My issue is, and nothing against any bud tenders out there or Legacy Worlds, but no offense, if you're going for medicine, you should be going to your pharmacy or pharmacist. Maybe I'm biased. I just think it should happen, and you definitely should be going to a fucking liquor store for your medicine.
Which is the reasoning? But which is the reasoning here in Ontario, anyways, why bud tenders aren't allowed to give.
They're not allowed to.
But you are. Somebody can come into your pharmacy and ask you a viable medical question about cannabis, and you can give that answer.
I'm legally allowed to.
That's what I'm getting at, right?
100%. That's the difference.
Yeah, and I like that. So when are you coming here to Ontario? I'm kidding. I don't know.
You said give him 60 days.
60 days. Wow, man.
See what he can do.
Maybe, but no, I would encourage, honestly, anyone in the Ontario region, like sign up with Hybrid Farm. Like same idea as I am. Like at least they're professional. They're pharmacists, and if you're looking for that, and I'm thinking more of the seniors population that were never really into cannabis. Yeah. They're the ones that are probably a little more apprehensive, have a little bit more knowledge. I would assume there's the legacy crowd probably know what they're doing and don't really need that information.
Yeah,
but
no, they don't.
I call it I'll take it off the newbies podcast. The name, right? Like the newbies, they really want a little bit more professionalism, but I also think they want a little bit more of that evidence based. What's realistic to expect? That's what I more care about.
I understand why the big doctors in the sky don't want employees of dispensaries talking about medical shit. I do. I understand that. They're not trained for it. They don't have a certificate. But there should be some room allowed for personal comments. I've tried this. It worked for my pain. Things like that.
Is how I felt. But honestly,
it's starting to.
Cannabis.
Yeah.
Just because I know Marcel likes Acapulco Gold. I wouldn't say go to the next person. Oh, you gotta have Acapulco Gold because it's amazing. It works great for everyone. That's bullshit. You can't say that.
No, well,
you know what?
strain
specific. I particularly like this one. I feel better on it. Whatever. Like the fun thing about cannabis to me medically is
whatever works for you.
You gotta try it all.
It works for you. Use it. If it doesn't, don't.
But experiment. The joke is, I'm experimenting with marijuana or experimenting with weed. Yeah.
Well, what do you think we've been doing for all this time? Just keep doing what you're doing.
Well, I'm so doing the same thing that doctors do. That's why they call it a medical practice. They keep trying until they find.
They
something
keep practicing. Yeah.
Exactly.
So I have a question that has confused me since the beginning of all of this: recreational cannabis versus medical cannabis.
Yep.
In my opinion, there's no fucking difference.
There's no difference.
Other than how they're ruling.
I actually don't use those terms, but I do because that's what people are used to. To me, it's prescribed and unprescribed.
Oh, I like that because this cannabis, I could use it recreationally or I could use it medicinally.
Okay.
Like, somebody I recently spoke to said they drink a glass of wine at night to get loose.
Yes.
And she says, yes. So, so we had this conversation and she's like, so I'm a recreational. I was like, no, honey, you're using it with intention. If you're using it as an intention to relax, that's medical.
And if you're looking to get slurring, that's not medical.
No, that's different. But a 1 glass of wine to relax.
I would be a recreational drinker.
Alcohol was medicine many, many, many moons ago. So
right, but I would be a recreational drinker because I'll have a drink maybe once every few weeks to maybe even a month. A recreational cannabis user would be the same thing.
You know, we could count that.
But if you're smoking pot every day, that's medicinal. Right?
But, I like what Dale said. Dale said that all medical use or all cannabis use is medical, whether they're aware of it or not. It's preventative care,
but you can abuse you can abuse cannabis, and when I evaluate this is what a physician's evaluating. You
cannabis
can use cannabis all day.
Watering your garden.
No, but you can use cannabis all day.
You can overwater your garden.
Are you going to work? Are you going to school? Are you doing your chores? Are you
functional? Yeah.
Are you being a functional, active person that's happy, active society? That's what a physician wants. A physician really cares. Oh, what's your chief complaint?
Are you sitting on the couch all day, or are you going out to work?
Yeah, like are you sitting there playing video games? And no offense to people that do that, like that's whatever that makes you fancy. But are you earning income? Are you getting an education? Are you going out exercising, doing things? If you're not, that's an issue.
Well, anything could be seen as a vice. Some people.
You can be addicted to anything.
You know, golf.
No, exactly. But again. Are you going to work or are you skipping work to go golfing? You start skipping work to go golfing? That's probably a problem.
I started skipping school to go golfing.
That's interesting because I've been reading this article. It's a long ass article, but it's kind of interesting if you're into this shit. And it's on cognitive and psychology of cannabis use. And
which article is that? The one that you just posted?
No, I haven't posted it yet.
Oh, did I put it into did I put it into the thingy?
Yes.
Oh, you just tell me which one so I can find it. Last week.
It's a while ago.
Whose microwave is that?
Post it, please. What microwave?
Somebody got something in the microwave beeping?
Yeah, me. My tea.
Oh, okay.
Anyways.
It's a bomb behind me. I blow up in 5 minutes.
It drives me nuts. If someone's got a smoke detector going off or a microwave, Anyways,
you go ahead and talk, Marcel. I will go get my tea.
Okay, so they did cognitive testing on a group of 39 people that have what they're calling a cannabis use disorder. And what they did is they asked them to be clean, not use any cannabis on the day of testing, and they compared it with 20 people who never or rarely ever use cannabis. And they had some interesting results. But this cannabis use disorder affects about 10% of the population. And it's most recognized by the people who start missing school and work because all they want to do is smoke pot.
Well, it's all I want to do, but I'm not missing anything, I assure you.
Right, but you wouldn't miss things because of cannabis.
Maybe they had a boring life.
I miss things because of my ADHD. It's got nothing to do with cannabis. Cannabis gets me there.
But what they're finding is it's between the 18 to 25-year-old range.
Yes.
So these are the ones that 10% of people, or possibly 10% of cannabis users.
Possibly. Maybe. Could be.
You know what? I've said it before, and I'll say it again.
There it is.
Cannabis does not make you lazy. You were lazy before you had the cannabis.
Here's how they defined it: is characterized by the persistent desire to use the drug and disruption to daily activities such as work or education.
That's the disruption.
I've seen some of those people. I grew up with some of those people.
Well, they're stereotypes. That's the stereotype too.
My kid is that person, but it's video games. It's not weed.
I would call that
that's
video
the same
game
thing.
Disorder. Right? Like.
And
for us in the 70s and the 60s, it was music.
No, it's not affecting his cognitive.
And running around, and we had ColecoVision and Atari back then, and that was it. Oh, I used to play Pong all the time. But anyways, but the majority of my day back then, at those ages that you're talking about, were spent hanging out with friends and listening to albums and walking around downtown and shit like that. I mean, the
times were different.
The times were so different. Now you walk into people who have their cell phones in their faces while they're walking downtown.
That's a big ass link.
That's a big ass link, buddy. Yeah. It's a real big ass link. Anyway.
But no, the other thing about Optimus was I don't want cannabis clinics. I think, no offense to all the cannabis clinics out there, but I think you're just a money grab. I want family doctors to incorporate in their practice, and I want them, if they need a pharmacist to call that's a little bit knowledgeable and they can trust. That's kind of what I'm trying to create.
Well, pharmacists. This is the way I was explained to it. A pharmacist is a pill doctor. In fact, your pharmacist, your daily pharmacist that you go see at the drugstore, knows more about the drugs that you take than the doctor prescribing it.
But that's what the word pharma means.
That's right.
Yeah, that's their job, right?
And is it true that nowadays, just like a nurse practitioner, a pharmacist can write a prescription for a patient? Is that true?
Each province is different. And it's very
because I know my pharmacist. When I have a script that needs to be filled and I have 0 refills, usually because they know me, my pharmacist will fill it and give it to me and then call it in. Right?
Well, no, they used to have to call the doc. They can usually call the continued care. They can refill,
just continue. Okay.
Depending what it is.
Yeah, I just signed something. My pharmacist said this will allow me to just give you your medicine every month, and we don't have to bug your doctor. Right?
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, no, I've
that
had
actually
problems.
sounds a little bit shady. I'm not sure what that is.
I don't know.
Canada. Has anybody heard about an increase in cannabis poisoning in pets?
Yes. I
Yeah,
saw
I
that
article.
Other than the article the other day.
Well, I've had some experiences with my own dog and my own cat.
Last summer, I seen a bunch of posts, dogs especially, finding wrappers and shit in public. That was a huge thing last summer here.
It's no different than if your kid gets too much cannabis in them. You sit with them for a few hours and wait till they go to sleep. They'll wake up with a hangover.
The
and
owners
not kidding.
panic. No, the owners panic.
In most cases,
most of them are not cannabis consumers
That's right.
themselves
That's
and
right.
don't know what the frig to do. It's like if your kid ate cannabis cake or some shit, you're going to panic.
Rosa got into one of Marcel's chocolate bars when I came home from Nova Scotia. And 2 days she was in bed, just kind of, but she was fine.
Yeah, but
well, it's also sweet.
I would be in a case of that. I would be more
worried about the chocolate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right. But yeah. I mean,
she's had cookies. She's had our cookies, cannabis cookies. She's
I thought
into
cannabis
fudge
was good for animals. Like my cat used to eat the leaves off the plant.
I think for the most part, people are worried about the toxicity levels. Too much is what it is.
Do you know why your cat's doing that, Marijane?
No.
It's 'cause he's eating the leaves off the plant to help him regurgitate hairballs.
Oh.
Because my cat, if I leave my door open and my tent open, all three of my cats will instantly go to my grow tent, eat and puke.
It's not this cat; it's my old cat.
And puke right beside the tent.
Oh,
that's nice.
Well, maybe it's not good for them.
Hairball treats.
Well, it helps them. It's the same reason cats eat grass, though, too, right?
Yeah, my cat always does that.
With the animal things is when you read down in the article a bit that I found on this one, it's mostly dogs, and I'm thinking along the lines of little slippers, slippers with guts type thing, little hairball.
Because their bodies are tiny.
Steven comes over and sticks his nose up in the air and wiggles his nose as the smoke goes past him. And he will even walk through a cloud of smoke, just going.
Oh, yeah,
it's
my
very
cat
cute.
loves
It's very, very cute. He'll walk right up to me and like now.
He's like, it's time for a joint.
Yep.
I thought animals, just like humans, we kind of know what we need.
Rosa, we had this conversation last week, didn't we, Marcel? Rosa and your dog too is like just walks out. It's like no thank you. Blow smoke in my dog's face, and she will just turn around and leave. But the cat will just be like, "Hey, buddy, how's it going?"
So if your animal ingests cannabis, it could have some
neurological effects,
neurological issues. Could be constantly peeing, could be high.
Well,
and
it's not like you can tell the dog in dog language, "Calm down, Fido. You're just stoned. You'll be okay in a couple hours."
Daisy,
but just make
Daisy
sure it's got lots of water.
Daisy got into some cookies in the kitchen at Kelly's, and Tim was up with her. Probably 36 hours just holding on to her. She just lay there in his lap. She wouldn't move. But she was fine. And like I said, Rose has done that. Has yours gotten into anything? Darcy?
No, she won't.
Marcel?
My dog won't touch anything.
Len, do you have a dog?
She's not supposed to. Nope. I could set down a juiciest steak on the table beside that dog and walk out of the room, and that dog will not touch that.
Normally,
that doesn't surprise me.
Normally, that's fine, but I was having lunch. I had lunch sitting on the table, and then the super came for rent, so I went out into the hallway. When I came back, lunch was gone. So, yeah.
And Rosa was laying on the floor staring at you like...
No, Rosa was standing like, oh, shit.
No, but for me, it's perfect because if I drop food on the floor, she won't touch it.
Really? Rosa goes right for... Well, she'll wait, but she will watch where it is and make sure it doesn't move.
Oh, no, they say it's the best thing to train them not to.
Yeah, if I drop something on the floor, she will, if she sees it, she'll just kind of stand there and look or sit there and look.
Until you're out of the room.
And then look at you, and then look at it, and look at you.
Until I tell her that it's okay to have it, and then she can have it.
Yeah, I'm not that strict with Rose. Rose always...
It's not a matter of strict. A lot of this she picked up on her own.
Well, Rose as well. Rose comes in when I'm eating. She knows when I'm eating. She knows I'm going to give her a little treat of something. And Stephen also knows that he doesn't get human food. He gets maybe some tuna where Rosa doesn't. You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, but Rose has grown a lot in the last, like, maturity-wise. Since I first met her, she was still like a pup.
She was 2 when I got her, so yeah.
Yeah, she was very rambunctious and didn't listen very well. But now, man, she listens to you like...
No, she listens to the tone of my voice. If I'm just talking to her like, hey, sweetie, come here, she's like, eh. But if I stress it, like, get your ass over here, she's like right there. You know,
yeah,
but
that's because they don't understand words.
Because she's actually pulled me down and knocked me over a couple of times. She knows not to pull me when I'm going downstairs. You know, like she's learned that. So on that aspect, yeah. I mean, at the farm, she does what she wants. She just sits there, usually waiting.
Maybe that's why, because I've seen her recently at the farm.
Yeah, she's very. She loves it up there. She chases me on the tractor all over the place.
Well, I just want to say I never have a problem with Rosa because Rosa loves me.
You know what? And my neighbor thinks that Rosa doesn't like her because every time she sees her, she's like, wow, wow. I mean, she talks. Mm-hmm. You know. What are we going to say, Marcel?
Here's my question. Have you ever heard of animals dying from overdosing on cannabis?
I have seen some stories where dogs got very, 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 very ill. On death's
I've never
door,
heard of anyone dying.
But
I've heard of the vet story.
Yeah, yes, I've heard the vet stories. Yeah, like Marijane said.
Okay, so according to the vets that were surveyed...
I'd love to have a vet on the show. We've still not found one that's willing to come on and talk to us.
16 deaths were reported.
16 in the world or in Canada?
In Canada.
Oh.
Is this the one that was on CTV tonight, Marcel?
I don't know.
In how many...
I don't watch CTV.
In how many years, Marcel?
It doesn't say. It's just that there's 16. But it's like the researcher said when they're doing the story. It's a relatively small proportion, but more likely it was related to additives like chocolate or xylitol.
Yeah.
And xylitol is being used more and more as an artificial sweetener. And actually, I was just asked to look at an ingredient list of product
that you can't give to animals.
And that's what I said, that you've got to put a warning on it that you can't let a dog have it. Mm-hmm. Because xylitol is toxic to dogs. Chocolate's toxic, but xylitol is even more toxic.
Can they have
Combine
sugar?
the two, then you're probably looking at killing off any dogs.
I hope they can have sugar because my dog loves jelly beans.
Well, dogs get natural sugars anyways.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't understand.
I don't get my dog jelly beans.
There's xylitol.
There's a lot of sugar in most dog foods. There's a lot of sugar and crap in them. But, I've never heard of this xylitol. Never heard of it before. So
Isn't it the same as aspartame?
It's been around for years. No, aspartame's actually shit from bacteria.
Yeah, I don't like aspartame. I use, what do I use, Marcel?
Xylitol tastes disgusting too.
But I always laugh about the aspartame one because who was the first person to say, hey, I wonder what that shit tastes like? And ate it to find out that, hey, it's sweet. We can collect this bacteria shit and feed it to people.
Yeah, I'll stick with stevia, thank you.
Yeah, I'll stick with sugar.
Maybe it was the same thing they did like with cheese when they're like, we have all this excess shit left over from milk. What do we do with it?
Make Parmesan.
I know. Let's make cheese and
Stinky feet.
Put it on everything.
I just watched a short on YouTube about it was a restaurant and they made a spaghetti dish in a huge block of Parmesan cheese. They heat up the cheese. I posted it. I think I posted it anyways. They heat up the cheese and then they actually light it on fire, and then they take the spaghetti that's already been made and put it in and mix it in and mix it up, and and it's supposed to be like really yummy. Although I don't know if I'd be
You
too
should play
rich.
Darcy's music.
Darcy's music.
This is how we grow
All right.
the weed.
We'll be right back.
Hey, this is Cheech. And this is Chong. And you're listening to Lifestyle Radio. What is it? Lifestyle Radio. Say it one more time. 420 Radio? Ooh.
You're listening to Lifestyle Radio.
Are you an independent musician? How would you like to have your songs played on hundreds of radio stations just like the one you're listening to right now? Join MusicSubmit.com and we'll promote your music to radio stations and blogs in your genre. It's free to set up your account, and we guarantee your music will be considered for airplay by radio stations worldwide. Why not sign up today? It's free. MusicSubmit.com. Radio promotion for indie musicians.
This is how we grow the weed.
That's you, Darcy.
Yeah, I know. I'm running blank.
You're running blank.
Yeah.
Can we talk about storage? That question I had earlier?
Yeah, why not?
Well, did you have something you wanted to talk about?
What's that?
Did you have something you want to talk about?
I didn't, but I can talk about whatever, but I didn't read off a hand, no.
Let's talk about storage. I think it's a great topic, unless you have one, Darcy.
No, I didn't, but that is a good one. There's many different ways you can do it. For example, like MJ asked us a question earlier about if you're how old is too old for your cannabis to be no good. Mm-hmm. Depending on how, then that one question leads to how was it stored.
Yeah, it was not in bags. It was in glass jars.
Now it's in the dark. Well, okay. Well, then it as long as there was no mold or mildew in that weed when they put it away, then
that's correct.
They should be good for a long time. Here, not too long ago, in the distant past, I was given a bag of stuff that was from 2017, Marcel.
Probably, yeah.
And I just smoked it here back in January, February, and it was completely fine. It wasn't even really discolored.
Was it dry?
No. It was a little dry. It was a little dry, yes. Now, I shouldn't say that. Yes, it was a little dry, but
so what do you do if it's too dry?
You rehydrate it.
Rehydrate it with paper. Well, there's many different ways you can do that, but the safest way to do that is, well, now is with a Bovia pack, but before it was with paper towel and water. But it's best to boil water. I prefer to boil water first, because if you got microbes in that water and it goes inside that jar, you might get mold from that if you put too much.
Makes sense.
And Marcel was saying to not let the paper towel touch the cannabis, to actually put it on the lid.
That's what I do. I put it on the lid.
Tape it to the lid.
Because you just want to moisturize the air, right? You're not trying to actually wet the weed.
Well, you got to remember that's in a closed container, so the humidity is gonna skyrocket. Right?
We've watched videos though about rehydrating just by submerging your bud in mason jars. We've watched.
Yeah, but then you got to turn around and dry it.
Yeah, I know that, but that was one of the ways that we saw that we could rehydrate. I didn't know.
Well, also how you can wash it.
Yeah.
Now you have different products on the market, right? You have there's Bovia packs. There's
the Bovia packs seem to be the best on the market.
I prefer Bovia way over Integra.
Yeah.
What if you were to take a cannabis bud that was not actually completely dry and just throw it in the bag with the dried buds? Would it absorb the moisture from the other bud?
It would, but then you got a chance of that bud getting mold because it's wetter than everything else too, right?
Mm.
Evenly consistent.
The safest way, if you can't go out and get a Bovita pack, and most head shops have them, Go ahead and use...
Most of the LPs have them now.
Yeah. Go ahead and use a piece of folded up paper towel. Tape it to the inside of the lid of a jar. Place the dried weed in the jar. Put 1 or 2 drops of water. Don't soak the paper towel. 1 or 2 drops of water. All you want is a tiny little bit of water. Yeah. Because if you put too much moisture in there, the mold will start growing from the top down.
Yeah, if there was any and if there was any mold in the bud itself, it will start it.
Kind of come back.
Yeah. So it's not like when you make seeds and you like dampen the paper towel. Like you literally just put a couple drops.
Couple drops of water, and then check it every day.
Depending on how... Oh, go ahead, Marcel.
If it's dried out the next day, add 1 or 2 more drops. And you basically go until you have a nice feel of the bud. It's not turning to dust when you squeeze it.
That makes sense.
Then you're probably getting closer to when you want to go out and smoke it.
And the amount of drops on the paper towel also depicts on if you got 3 pounds of weed in a tote. Well, then you might want to put more than 1 or 2 drops.
Yeah.
Right.
But in a small little jar.
But if you're doing like
a
mason jar that big, that's a 1 liter mason. No, that's a 1,600 milliliter mason jar.
Okay.
If that was, if I had that much weed in it, I put like 4 drops, and then every couple of days I turn the weed. I turn my cannabis. I
also don't fill the jar.
No.
So it's like the reverse of curing.
Yeah, because curing your when every time you open the jar, you're literally letting moisture out.
Mm-hmm. And now you're putting moisture in.
Now you're putting moisture back in.
And remember too, if you dry your cannabis out too fast, and you're like, oh crap, that tastes like shit. Just because you rehydrate it doesn't mean you're going to get them terpenes back. You lost them terpenes. They're gone.
The terpenes left when they dried.
Yeah, they're gone. So that if it tastes like hay now, it's gonna always taste like hay.
So you're gonna need some of those flavored blackberry brandy papers after.
No, turn it into a body oil or something.
Turn it into
make some
butter.
bath salts out of it.
Yep.
Turn it into butter and eat it.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
But yeah, no, that's the other thing too, is when people dry it and they're like, they did an awesome job on the grow. You know, they got it all done. They got, they're ecstatic. The plants are way better than they thought. And now they go to dry it, and they dried it in 3 days, and now they're smoking it on day 4. And oh my God, that tastes like hay. Well, that's because you dried it way too fast. Let that stuff dry at its proper rate.
I used the drying rack that Marijane brought me, and I filled it, but left it running. I left it running for 2 weeks. I came home, I came back, and it was just perfect. There was enough moisture in the air to keep it moister than drier, and it dried perfectly. And then I stuck it all in bags. And this was my first time doing it. I couldn't believe how well. Now, what ended up happening though is all the stuff that I left in the freezer died and went mushy because the
that was live
power went out.
Right?
Yeah, it was all live stuff. Yeah, but I had the only major issue I had was with the ice cream cake. It got dry rot. Some of it got dry rot, which was horrible. I couldn't.
What is dry rot?
It's just the bud just starts rotting away.
Huh?
Yep, the bud just kind of.
I think that disease is called botrytis, is it not, Marcel?
I don't know.
But
what
that's in the growth. Isn't that in the growth process?
The end. Growing too long and getting too moist. That the last. The last 3 days before I pulled it up. The last 3 days before I pulled that specific. Those specific strains up. It was raining a lot, and Marcel, I remember you saying that I should have done that first. I should have done the ice cream cake first. It went too long, is what it did.
Well,
it depends on bud structure.
Where did I go? I just went home for a couple of weeks. That's all.
No. I can barely hear you guys all of a sudden.
Really?
Oh, your sound still sounds
fine.
okay.
You sound fine.
Whoa,
man.
there you came back.
All right. Awesome.
Welcome back.
Marcel's fucking around.
I didn't do a thing. I'm rolling a joint.
Yeah, that's
what
why
I'm
it's
doing.
really
Hey,
important
what
towards
happened?
the end of harvest season. You got to make sure all those big fan leaves
Well,
are off.
we were
you know, trim off the extra.
We were talking about it every week, and they kept telling me to make sure I did this. Then I was doing that, but I should have started doing it with the ice cream cake. In retrospect, I was excited about the Northern Lights. I didn't want the Northern Lights to fuck up, and I could have let the more Northern Lights and the Bubba Kush go a little longer.
What was that purple one you had?
That's the ice cream cake.
Oh, that was pretty.
Yeah, very pretty, but you know what? It didn't smoke nice at all. Like it was not.
Maybe for you it was the wrong terpene.
No. I mean it was all ended up moldy.
Oh,
all of it.
Hey, Al.
Yep, it's the only one though.
I'll make you a deal.
What's that?
I have 2 pounds of oat door still in my bedroom.
Yep.
If you come down to Harvest Fest,
Yeah.
I will give you a half a pound of it to take back home with you.
All right, I'm going to hold you to that.
No, I'm going to hold you to, so I want to see you at Harvest Fest.
Hey, Darcy, guess what I've got?
What's that?
That all depends on what happens this summer, Darcy.
Yep.
So.
I got a seed.
What from?
Lucky Charms.
Yep, you will. Actually, should be. And see how dark black they are?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they
Can
will
you
sprout.
plant those?
Yes, they will sprout. Nick, I gave Nick a bud the other day, and he took it home and rolled it. He got 4 seeds of it. 3 days later, there was little plants up out of the ground.
Wow. That
fast, man. They're super vigorous.
Oh, good.
Cool.
I'm going to pop one.
But did I ever tell you how much I fucking hate re-vegging?
Mine's coming back nice.
Oh, they're coming back nice, but bushy. Oh my
Isn't it?
Jesus! The branches are only 2 inches, and I bet you there's fucking 15 sets of nodes on that branch.
That's because it's under the LED. Put it under the metal halide, and it stretches right out.
Well, I'm gonna stick them. I'm gonna rip everything out of there except for the top 2 nodes and stick them outdoors every day and let them get acclimatized and bring them in the evening.
Yeah, that'll work.
Well, it'll stretch them. I gotta stretch them. Holy shit, man! It's like fucking. I'll go grab one here in a second. It's like a monstrosity bush of hell.
Yeah, but it's because it's the LEDs.
Hey.
They don't like LEDs, man.
Hey, if I was to train somebody how to prune plants, if he could handle doing that, he could handle doing anything.
I got Lily here, so I'm going to try and convince her tomorrow to go in and prune mine for me.
Yeah, they're mine. Like I said, I got one more joint here to roll, and I'll go grab it.
Isn't it easy? You just cut off all the big hands.
Well, see,
I tell the kids to just cut the big hands off.
The problem is the strain is because it grows so many little branches.
Oh.
And so me and Marcel got Grimace OG. We bought it because there was only. Well, that was the last pack of seeds left, wasn't it, Marcel?
Worldwide.
Yeah, so they didn't have any more. So we bought it, and we seeded it, and we got a whole bunch of different phenos, but we only kept 2, the 2s and the 4s. And the 4s are what I gave away to people, and the 2s are what we kept for ourselves.
You know, I bet if Darcy and Marcel weren't married, they'd be living together.
I never grew.
No,
I
he wouldn't.
No.
I'd push him down a flight of stairs.
No, I learned something. Marcel needs to live by himself.
Anyways, go on, Darcy.
But there was the 2s and the 4s. Like I said, I gave the 4s are what I gave to people. Here, try this. It's a really good strain. It was more like the purple Urkel. The number 4 was.
You know what? I had some of that from the Reds. That was the sample that they gave me. It was really nice.
The reason we liked the number 2s is it was more like the face-off OG, but without that dank cushy flavor. Because Marcel doesn't like that dank cushy flavor. And it turned out awesome. But them 2s, they grow so short and bushy, and especially under LED, where it's designed to stack nodes like crazy. That one I got in the bedroom, I wish I could turn it down so it would stretch a little bit. But I can't.
But even that, because I use the LED to start vegging them out.
Oh, yeah, yours got a dimmer on it anyways.
And I had mine set down dim to try and stretch them, and they still don't stretch under LED.
They still won't stretch.
I put them under my. I turned off the LED and.
What do you
put
mean
them back
stretch?
under
You
metal.
mean to get them bigger?
To get them taller, so that there's more spacing between the nodes, so you can cut off clones and
Can
things.
you can you just raise the light higher?
My light
and
was
make
as high
it
as it
stretch?
could go.
Well, I only got 7 feet in my grow tent, and so technically, really, I only got 6 feet. So that's really only giving me 4 feet from my canopy. So that's really not a lot of space.
And that's as much space as I could get in my tent.
Yep.
But then because I was putting them into auto pots, which are much higher pots, I had to change the light to get them to stretch up. If not, I would have just big, giant balls of green.
Great balls of green.
That you do not want to... Oh, sorry.
Have you done Have you tried doing the sea of green with that strain?
These are my mother plants. This would be an ideal plant for you could fill one whole tent with one plant.
Oh, easy.
If you're not using LED. You
use,
still have to use metal halide.
Remember the big one?
The ceramic metal halide. Is that the same? Okay.
That might work. I don't know. I haven't tried it under ceramic metal halide.
Different light spectrum, MJ. Yes, it will work. Yes, you can veg under them. Different light spectrum. Just buy the proper bulb.
Yeah, I've got 2 separate. One is a higher Kelvin.
So what 2 bulbs do you have?
One's like a 6400, and the other one is a.
Oh, okay. So it's not
a Philips.
So it's not a 3K and a 4K bulb.
No, that doesn't sound.
Get yourself a 3K and a 4K bulb.
Okay.
And then when it comes time to flower, mix that 2K in with it.
She's going, oh great, more stuff to buy.
I'm about ready to just give somebody my grow license and say, just give me some weed, man.
Yeah,
I can't.
If it wasn't
the amount of time and the room and
this is why I tell people to try and get an outdoor license and grow their own outdoors.
I have thieves in my neighborhood. I wouldn't have any.
Everybody's got thieves, but
yeah, don't we?
What you do is you build a cage to keep your plants in.
Oh, yeah, go get that plant.
There's no way.
Why?
There's no way. I'll take photos and send you my yard. I have a path that leads behind my house that goes to the high school.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's wonderful. So I see high school students all the time.
So you know those chain link dog kennels?
Yep.
That's what you put them in.
I was looking at those. Yep.
Yeah.
That's funny. Did you not hear me? I don't have the time. I don't want to do it.
She wants somebody to do it for her.
Oh, sorry. That's a you problem.
Around.
I just convince other people that if you're going to grow, make a nice secure area and grow. I have a neighbor that's doing exactly that. Come and ask me if the area that he was picking out was going to be big enough for a 6-plant license.
So I'm looking at an article about speed limits in Ontario.
Oh, on certain highways.
QEW, Hamilton to St. Catharines, 402 to London, 417, 401 to Windsor, 404 to Newmarket.
People being told they're allowed to drive fast.
Going up to 110, which means, the 130 that I've been doing the whole time will just work out perfectly.
Yeah, it's good if people just say, I'm just going to go the regular 130.
It's only 100 now. Yeah, they're going up to 110 today. They went up.
What is this? That's one of those plants?
That is a plant that was
Holy shit.
That was re-vegged.
That looks like a ficus or some shit.
Okay.
They grow awesome.
Now,
where's your Frankenstein?
What you will notice with plants that re-veg, and some strains do it and some strains don't.
Some strains
this strain does it. You will get, and this is always a way to tell if your clones were re-veg too, is you'll get plants that have 1-finger leaves.
Oh. Is that what causes that?
It'll all come out with 1-finger leaves.
Now,
and then after a week or so, it'll start coming out with new 3-finger leaves.
Yeah.
Really?
Okay.
That's cool.
I just love that. Looks like somebody's hairstyle. That's so
and Marcel,
cool.
There's a 7-finger leaf.
Yeah. Woo! So it's coming out. So it's back to full.
I'm waiting. So all I'm gonna do is go to the end of every top, which there's like fucking 30 of them in there, and rip everything off except for that little bit right there in my finger.
Yep.
Everything else is gonna be gone. And then what
So how long did it take you to grow that to that point?
Well, Marcel gave it to me when.
Oh, that's the one that you were showing us, Marcel.
So Marcel gave them to me when he sexed them, and then they went heavy into flour.
Marcel.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
You're a
this is
pervert.
Marcel
That's
sexed
just these LED lights.
Yeah, and then they went heavy into flour. Well, then he's like, here. Knowing what we already know, he said, here, they will come back eventually. You got lots of time. Work with it. Well, that's what I got.
Work with it.
I love it.
Now there's a branch here. You can't even see my fucking hands in it. Like there's how many sets of nodes on that? I'm not trying to count them.
How big will that? How big will that get? Can you stretch that?
Oh fuck! That plant will be. Well, I'm only going to grow about 5 feet tall, but it'll be about 10 to 12 feet wide.
In your tent or outside?
Outside.
My tent's only 3x3 out, so I can only get her 3x3 in my tent.
So
these plants outdoors can easily produce over 1 pound per plant.
Wow.
Yeah.
So out of curiosity, correct me if I'm wrong. Mm-hmm. If you grow indoors, strictly indoors, you could potentially grow a plant as tall as your ceiling will allow.
Yes.
No. Well, yeah, up to the airspace between your light and your plant.
You don't. You always want to try to stay, and I'm being very cautious with it. A foot, 18 inches.
Even
18
with
inches
LED.
would be the closest.
Even with cool LED.
Now there you're getting a little different, but I would still say I wouldn't want to go any closer than a foot.
Because I've seen pictures.
If the plant goes up to the top, then
I've seen pictures right up to the lights.
Light?
Yeah,
you can use side lighting.
My LEDs last run.
Yeah, I've seen that as well. Yeah, all around. Do you
But the other thing is most people don't realize when they should flip to flower when they're growing in the tent because their plant's growing up nice and big and they're thinking, oh, this is great and it's bushy and bushy. They don't realize that when it flowers, it's still growing up.
Yeah.
Do you guys, Len, put lights on the sides of the walls in your grow rooms?
Can
you?
If I should tell you, but no.
Can you? What was that?
We don't. I was debating. Should I say yay or nay? But
well, no, because I'm just curious. Because, I know that it's usually all white, anyways, right?
Everyone's white.
Yes,
for the reflection.
But
and
even
tents have that silver, right?
I've seen many people, even with nice big lights above, growing with the small little lights along the sides as well. But I guess that would be just. It wouldn't make sense to do that in a large grow. Because it's all white.
It's not that. It's a matter of cost.
Are the floors white as well?
No. Floors are reflective gray.
Oh, okay.
But it's a matter of cost because it costs you a lot of money to run that many lights on the tops,
I get that.
Let alone the sides.
So
right?
you want to use as few lights.
The sides are only going to reach on the outside anyway. They're not going to penetrate.
You want to use as least lights as you can. Yes, I know. I understand that.
Right. So if you do a scrog grow,
yes.
So you've got scrog netting up and everything. You're basically going after all your top buds. You don't really need side lighting.
Yeah, and you would take all the bottom shit off anyways, right?
Right, but if you're doing your own home grow, and you had a room that you had the room and you don't mind, you can throw fluorescents on the side.
Yeah.
Right, low heat, low cost.
Yeah, well, that's what I've seen done.
Wouldn't it be cheaper just to put like aluminum foil around the room though?
But one thing in photography, one thing I learned pretty quickly is that white is much better for reflecting. Than foil because the foil specifically has crinkles in it and it will bounce it, right?
Al?
Yep.
The one thing that you always got to everyone's got to remember that plant can only absorb so much light.
Yes.
So if you're using more light than what the plant can absorb, then you're just wasting money.
And that makes sense. Yeah.
Right. So, like these new lights that are coming out, some of them are like 2,900 micromoles. Like that's intense. That's really intense light. Man.
So one night, what we should do is sit down and put together for our listeners and maybe even myself the perfect grow tent with a budget. Do you know what I mean? Because most people
Well, you'd
don't
have to do different options depending on what
yes,
lighting
of course.
you want.
Most people don't have $1,000 even to put into a grow tent, right? But you can do it. You can do it for not that much, right?
Can you?
Sure, you can if you use a closet.
No.
No, by the time you're done buying the
you
fan
used to
and
be
the
able
filter and the light and the supplies and the
Okay.
So I know when I used to work at the hydroponics store, people would come in and want
You
to
worked
start
at a
grow
hydro
room.
store?
I did.
I'm kidding,
I
I'm
did.
kidding.
So we would give them 3 different options for their grow room. Like if you're just starting, you can either buy a tent, which has like the walls and everything, right? And then all the kits, like the stuff that goes in it. Or you can, for your walls, if you have a room or like you're saying, a closet, you could put up, there's 2 different things you could put up. It was, one was a white paper. I think it's called like panda plastic or something.
Yep.
It's black on one side, white on the other.
Yep.
That was 95% reflective, I think.
Yeah, it's probably the most reflective you can get.
Well, they had this other stuff that was like a metal looking, and it was on
Mylar.
a roll as well. Yes.
No,
and that
Mylar,
was 97%.
With Mylar, it's
reflective.
different though, because some Mylar, if you go to the dollar store, you can buy those safety blankets or whatever, emergency blankets that are
those
Mylar.
work. Yep.
And everybody thinks those are great. They don't work. And how you tell with Mylar is you shine a flashlight through it. And if you can see the light going through it,
It's
then
not
the
gonna
light
work.
is being absorbed and it's not going to pass.
That's
it's
right.
not going to reflect all of it. Panda plastic, you put a flashlight against panda plastic,
doesn't go
nothing
through.
comes through.
Okay.
No, because
it
it's black
doesn't.
on the other side.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and
They use that
to
stuff
push,
in studios.
We
What
used to
size
push the
tent-
panda plastic anyways for the simple fact that it's if you need to clean it, you can clean it. You can't clean Mylar.
You just wipe it off, right?
Yeah.
What size tent would you want to do this for?
4 by 4, I think.
4x4?
Is that what you would do 4 plants in?
No, 6x6.
No, 6x6 for 4 plants.
See, and at the local hydro store for your 4 plant thing, they're selling you a 4x4.
Because
How about
they're
a
only
6x4?
allowing you. Because they're only allowing you a foot grow space for each plant.
Yeah.
A foot squared. That's a foot by a foot by a foot. That's not a lot of space.
No, honestly, from growing up, that's 2
So
plants.
you're basically
maybe
growing.
3.
You're growing up, not out.
Yeah.
Now you
But
want
a
to grow.
4x4 custom grow tent kit is $519.99 Canadian.
What does
Is
it
that on grow lights,
include?
Marcel?
Pardon me? Yeah.
How
What
much?
does it have with it?
How much
the
did you
tent
say?
and what
So
else?
$600.
I'm going to tell you. It has it's a 400-watt system of metal halide and high-pressure sodium.
Ew.
Well, no, this is
that's
for
a lot of
inexpensive.
hydro. Yeah, but that's a lot of hydro.
Not necessarily. Not
No, it's only 400 watt.
depending on
Yeah,
your
which doesn't-
dialysis and stuff.
You need at least a 600 in order to grow anything decent. Even in a 4x4.
Not necessarily.
Wouldn't go that
You'd be
far.
surprised on a 4x4 what you can do with a 400-watt light.
Mm-hmm.
With gull wing reflectors, so it reflects light down. A 600D Mylar tent with 16 millimeter poles, a 4-inch inline fan, a 4-inch filter, and that's your kit for $519.
Do you get duct work?
Yeah, it comes with a roll of duct tape and a piece of duct tape or ducting for that 4-inch system.
Okay. Nice.
So that's a 4x4 set. That's
I
high-pressure sodium
apologize
and
for
metal
the siren sound that's going to happen in a minute.
halide. Let me go back to my kits and LED systems.
They're a little more money.
A
They're like
4x4 LED system is $649.99.
I was going to say they're almost $700, aren't they?
Yeah. And
So
that's
the
a
price-
250 watt fusion board. 3000K.
So you're getting one spectrum of light, which is an all-around spectrum of light.
Mm-hmm.
More so suited for veg than flower because of the low far red spectrum in it.
Everybody's ganging up on you there, Marcel.
I'm wondering, is there a kit with the CMH?
Who's ganging up on me?
Or the LEC?
So at this point in 2022, is it better to grow with LED or metal halide?
Well, it all depends now. Cost-wise,
I want to vote for CMH or LEC, which was not one of those options.
Oh, hang on. Now, let me look, because they might have one of those.
They do have CMH on there, Marcel.
Because I know the LED ones are going down
Yes, they do.
pretty.
Or they did.
Yeah, LED is because of the money. People don't want to spend the money on hydro, but which is why I went with CMH.
But if you don't get a full spectrum, you're wasting your money, really.
Yeah, and so therefore you're going to pay at least $800 for a light, if not more. The ones that I was looking at the other day, these new ones, they're like $3,200.
Yeah, people are. I mean, I've had a few friends over the years that have gone and bought the stuff off of Amazon that you can get, for $3.99, and they work fine for the first couple of grows, but then they fizzle out really quick. It's like
you mean the LEDs?
Yeah,
or just bulbs in general.
The LEDs.
Well,
yeah, because you need to look at where you're buying. Who the manufacturer
it's
is.
just like TVs and tape decks and shit like that. If you buy an inferior product, they use cheaper wiring, cheaper contacts, and they don't last as long. It's like cars don't last that long anymore, where they used to last.
Have you heard? Okay, so there's this light. I got this really, really expensive LED grow light. It's by Emerson. It's some grow light.
Emerson's a big name.
Yeah, you have to have an app to work this fucking thing.
Okay, so Emerson's a big name, so you thought that it would be a good light.
No, it legit is a good light. It's like a $3,000 or $4,000 light. I just don't know how to use the thing because you have to create the light spectrum, the light schedule.
Yeah.
And it's purple.
I've
light,
seen
so
videos
you have to have
of
those special.
Yeah.
Do you know
You
what?
have to have the special glasses, and it's been sitting in a box. It was my Christmas bonus one year when I worked for that company. We were supposed to try them out.
Hey, I'll barter with you.
I might barter with you.
You're coming to Harvest Fest. Marcel, fuck off.
Shut up, Darcy.
Marcel, fuck off.
You don't need it, Darcy, because remember I had the Helio Spectra, and I love that light.
Marcel.
We'll talk about this later, okay?
Because the Helio
You're going to
Spectra
start a fight now.
was the same way, that you had to actually sit there and have a laptop hooked up to it.
Actually, you want to buy 5 of them, Marcel?
Helio Spectra?
Yeah, I know there's 5 of them out for sale. Real good price, too.
We'll talk. I'd be interested in one. I'd put one of those in a tent, leave it there, because I can change the spectrum on it.
Now look.
We're gonna have to
you're making it naked.
Pause this.
As for the grow tent kit for the 4x4, a 315 watt CMH will cost you $130 more.
That's not bad.
That's not bad.
So
I was going to say my CMH light itself was $300 just for the hood thing, and then it was $200 for the bulb.
Yeah, you're looking.
That brings your
I know
total
that
up to
for just the light you can spend $500 either. Just easy, just the light. I know that. I've seen them.
Yeah, $650, and
I think
you'd probably get the kit in 3 days.
The kit that Dean got there was it was $1,000 or just under $1,000, but it was 1,000 watt. Like I don't remember what it was. Marcel kind of helped me with that a long time ago. That was a few years ago, and he's never put it up.
Wow,
I know.
Hey, guess what? It's time to go.
Yeah, but before we go, I want to make sure that I mention that next week. Chief Greenbud's going to be joining us, and if you know Chief Greenbud, you know that he knows how to play some music, and he'll probably play a couple of tunes, and we'll talk about it. He's been around a long time doing music, cannabis, and I think country as well. So
cool.
Talk with. Chief.
Oh,
Green
Guess
Bud.
what? I'll tell you guys really
hold
quick.
on one sec. And on the 6th, Ken Tovich is going to be joining us. He was supposed to join us tonight, but couldn't. And sorry we couldn't have Deb on. She had some internet problems. We'll have her on again, or we'll talk to her at Harvest Fest.
And if anybody's interested, don't forget May 7th is the Global Marijuana March.
Yes, I haven't been to one of those in a long time.
But that's not what I was going to say. I was going to say, I'm going to Wonderland on Sunday.
You are?
21 degrees. Oh, my God. It's going to be amazing.
I'm going to the farm on Sunday. It's 21 degrees. I'm going to go play
I'm
on my
going to Wonderland in July.
Same thing.
Are you going when you come down?
I think we're going to go. I'm going to go to Wonderland with my kids, yeah.
Nice. Well, when you go, get a boarding pass. I'll tell you all about it.
All right. We'll discuss.
That's going to suck. Did they cancel your concert?
Oh, the Foo Fighters? I'm assuming yes.
But what about Rage?
I'm under the impression Rage is still there. Why would Rage be canceled?
I was wondering if they were like coming together.
No, they're two separate shows.
Oh, good. At least you still get to see Rage, Lenny.
I haven't bought my ticket, but I'll be going to Rage Against the Machine, yes.
All right, guys.
You will.
Say goodnight, kids.
Say goodnight, kids.
Later.
Good night, kids.
So what are you doing? Nothing? Why not?
Trying to get on this Lifestyle Radio website.
Sounds like a cool website.
Yeah, it's alright. Oh, wait, I might have it.
You might have it.
You're listening to Lifestyle Radio.
The opinions expressed during this show are those of the individual participants and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of their associated organizations or Lifestyle Radio.